Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going on a little trip to the year 2025, and we're going to be looking specifically at the world of XRP.
Okay.
You might be prepping for like a meeting or something, maybe trying to, get all caught up in the crypto world,
Sure.
or maybe you're just curious about this whole XRP thing. But get this, by 2025, that whole SEC lawsuit, remember that? That had everybody all on edge,
Yeah.
settled. And XRP is out there like making waves in global finance.
Wow.
There's even rumors, whispers of some pretty massive partnerships,
Uh-huh.
like some serious investment potential, and get this, maybe even a role in the future of money itself.
Interesting.
I mean, this is big, right?
Yeah, and what I think is so fascinating here is that you've got some, cryptocurrencies that are all about decentralization.
Right.
But XRP has always been focused on how it can be used in the real world, in finance specifically.
Yeah, it's not just about the tech, it's about the impact. And from what we've been looking at, XRP has been making some pretty big moves ever since it was launched back in 2012 by Ripple Labs.
Yeah. 2012.
And by 2025, I mean, it's a major player,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, major player for sure.
I mean,
We're talking about a network of like over 500 institutions
yet?
worldwide. So think about it, like major banks, right? And payment providers, they're all using XRP to make their transactions just flow smoother,
It's a big deal.
Yeah, pretty big deal.
Okay, so XRP is working with these big institutions, but let's rewind for just a sec.
Okay.
Remember, like, back in 2020 when the SEC came out with that lawsuit,
Yeah.
they were claiming XRP was like an unregistered security? I mean, that sent shockwaves through the whole crypto community.
Right, for sure.
Everybody was wondering about XRP's future.
Yeah, it definitely cast like this shadow of uncertainty over everything.
So fast forward to 2025.
Okay.
I mean, this outcome, I'm telling you, it's a turning point.
Mm.
And not just for XRP, but for the entire crypto space.
Huge implications.
So what happened? Did they win? Did they lose? Did they settle? Give me the details.
Okay, so they won.
No way.
Yeah, they won. The lawsuit is settled.
Wow.
And XRP is officially recognized as a digital currency,
Okay.
not a security,
That's huge.
which is huge. And here's why. First off, it just like totally clears up all that regulatory confusion that was holding so many institutions back, right?
Right.
And second, it sets a precedent
Okay. Yeah.
for other cryptocurrencies facing, similar challenges.
I bet that clarity is such a relief for investors, for institutions, for everyone involved, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's like a huge weight lifted.
It seems like this win has just totally paved the way for XRP to just like take off in 2025.
Yeah, it's thriving.
So one of the biggest things that we keep seeing is the impact it's having on cross-border payments.
Right.
Okay, so I imagine like sending money internationally.
Mm.
Normally you got to wait days, sometimes even longer.
Mm.
You lose a bunch of money to fees. It's a pain, right?
Total pain.
But with XRP, the transfer is like instant, almost instant, and it costs way less.
Way less.
Okay, how does XRP even like make that happen? What's the secret?
So think of XRP as a bridge,
Okay.
a bridge currency.
Okay.
So let's say, you're sending money from the US to Japan.
Right.
Typically, you'd have to go through all these different intermediaries, currency conversions. Each one takes time and costs money.
Right.
But with XRP, it acts as that bridge,
Okay.
makes those conversions so much faster
Right.
and for a lot less money.
So it's like a universal translator for money.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So all these different currencies can communicate without any problems.
Exactly, seamless.
So what kind of impact are we talking about here?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, our sources, they're pointing to like a 70% reduction in transaction costs
70%.
thanks to XRP. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, give me an example.
Okay, so think about the U.S.-Mexico remittance corridor.
Okay.
You've got millions of people sending money back home, right? And with the traditional ways of doing it, they lose a ton of their money to fees.
Oof, it's the worst.
But with XRP, someone sending, let's say, like $500, they could save around $35 in fees.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's money going back into the pockets of, families who really need it.
That's more than just technology. I mean, that's making a real difference in people's lives.
Absolutely. It's about impact.
So faster transactions, lower costs, this whole bridge currency idea. I mean, what else is going on with XRP in 2025?
Well, one of the most interesting things is that it's not just banks and payment providers that are using it.
Okay.
We're starting to see central banks getting involved.
Yeah, wait, central banks,
Yeah.
that's next level.
Next level
Are
adoption.
they using it for the same kind of cross-border payment stuff we were just talking about?
Well, yeah, that's part of it, but there's a bigger picture here. They're looking at XRP's potential role in something called CBDCs.
CBDCs.
CBDCs, yeah, central bank digital currencies.
Okay.
So basically, these are like digital versions of a country's currency.
Got it.
And they're poised to like totally change how we think about money.
So you're saying XRP could be like the backbone of a global digital currency system.
It's a possibility, yeah. It's definitely on the table.
I mean, imagine that, a world where international transactions are like completely seamless because of these CBDCs all powered by XRP.
It's a pretty amazing idea.
I mean, it sounds amazing, but as with any kind of investment, I mean, we gotta look at the other side of the coin. I mean, we gotta look at the potential risks.
Yeah, we can't just ignore those.
And those challenges that could, throw a wrench in XRP's plans.
For sure.
So we'll explore all that after a quick break.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we just painted this like pretty amazing picture of XRP in 2025.
Yeah.
But like any good investor, we know there are always two sides to every story, right?
Absolutely.
So what are some of those potential risks, those challenges, the things that could really mess with XRP,
Yeah.
even though it seems like it's doing so well?
Well, one thing that's always there, like lurking in the background in the crypto world, is regulation.
Oh yeah, regulation.
I mean, yeah, even though the SEC lawsuit, that's settled,
Right.
things can change like really fast.
Yeah.
New regulations, they could pop up and impact how XRP is used, or even, they could reclassify it,
Oh,
which
no.
would just like totally throw everything off.
So even though XRP won this battle with the SEC, it doesn't mean that like the war is over.
Exactly. The regulatory landscape is constantly shifting.
And let's not forget about, how crazy the crypto market can be.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've seen Bitcoin, Ethereum, they go through these wild swings up and down, up and down.
Total.
So even though XRP seems all stable and steady in 2025, it's not like immune to that, right?
No, not at all. It's still part of that ecosystem.
So no investment is a sure thing,
Mhm.
especially in the crypto world. I mean, we got to keep that in mind.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are there any other like red flags, things that the people who might want to invest in XRP should watch out for?
Well, competition is definitely a factor,
It's
right?
good competition
The crypto world is constantly evolving. There's always new projects coming out.
all the time.
And some of them are going after the exact same clients that Ripple has been working so hard to get.
So even with like this head start and this proven track record, XRP can't like just sit back and relax.
They gotta keep innovating. They gotta stay ahead of the game.
One thing I've been hearing a lot about is how much of the XRP tokens Ripple actually holds.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Some people aren't so happy about that.
Right.
So what's the problem there?
Well, the argument is that it gives Ripple too much control.
Alpha.
Like they could potentially manipulate the market to benefit themselves.
I see.
And it kind of goes back to that whole debate about centralization versus decentralization.
Right, which is like a huge thing in the crypto world.
Yeah, it's a fundamental tension.
So even though XRP has like gained all this legitimacy with these institutions and everything, there are still some questions about like how decentralized it really is.
Yeah, it's a complex issue.
Yeah.
With valid arguments on both sides.
So what does all of this mean for like the average person who might be thinking about investing in XRP in 2025?
Okay, so we've got like the regulatory uncertainty, we've got the crazy market swings, we've got all this competition, and then this whole debate about how centralized it is.
Right.
That's a lot to think about.
It is, yeah.
It sounds like investing in XRP comes with like some real risks.
It does. There's no denying that. Okay, so what's the advice here?
I think the most important thing is to really weigh the potential rewards against the risks, right? If you're the kind of person who likes to like take risks,
Yeah.
high risk, high reward kind of thing, XRP might be like right up your alley, especially with all the potential for growth that it has.
Right.
But if you're more like cautious,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit risk averse, you might want to like tread carefully.
So basically do your research,
Yeah.
understand the technology, the
Hmm.
team behind it, all the regulatory stuff, the competition,
Exactly.
and most importantly, like how comfortable are you with risk?
Yeah, know your own risk tolerance.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, even with all that said, there's a lot about XRP that makes it really stand out from the other cryptocurrencies out there. Okay, when we've talked about how fast it is, how cheap it is to use, but there's more to it than that.
Okay, so one thing that keeps popping up in our research is this idea of interoperability.
Right, interoperability, yeah.
So can you break that down for us?
Sure. So imagine the global financial system, right? Like it's this giant puzzle,
Right.
and each piece of the puzzle is like a different currency
Right.
or a different payment system.
Right.
And interoperability is like having the right connectors to make all those pieces fit together.
Got it.
XRP is designed to be that connector.
Yeah.
It helps different networks talk to each other, exchange value.
Without any like hiccups.
Exactly, seamlessly.
So it's not about replacing the systems we already have. It's about making them work better together.
Yeah, it's about making them more efficient.
It's like creating like a universal language for finance.
That's a great analogy.
And in a world where like everything is so interconnected, global commerce and everything.
Right.
I mean, that kind of interoperability, it's huge.
Oh yeah, it's essential.
It makes sense why all those big institutions we were talking about, why they're so interested.
Right.
It's not just about like speculating on the price of XRP.
Right.
They're actually using it to like make their businesses better.
They're seeing real world benefits.
And speaking of those partnerships,
Yeah.
We've been seeing that by 2025, RippleNet, which is the network built on XRP,
Uh-huh.
it's basically become the backbone of a lot of these central bank digital currencies.
That's right. Yeah, CBDCs.
So for those who might not know, like what exactly are CBDCs?
So CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, are basically like digital versions of like the US dollar, the euro,
Got it.
They're issued and backed by central banks.
Okay.
And a lot of people think they're going to like totally revolutionize how we use money.
And RippleNet is playing a big role in making all that happen.
Yeah, which, I mean, it really says a lot about how strong and how scalable the technology is.
So are we like potentially looking at a future where XRP is like deeply embedded in the global financial system through these CBDCs?
It's a real possibility.
That's crazy.
I mean, imagine like cross-border transactions happening like instantly.
Yeah.
Because all these CBDCs can like talk to each other thanks to RippleNet and XRP.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It's a fascinating idea.
Yeah, it is.
And it makes you really wonder, like, what is the future of money,
And let's not forget about like how XRP is evolving beyond just payments.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this a little earlier, but I want to like dig into this a little more.
Yeah, for sure.
So what does it mean that XRP now has these smart contract capabilities?
Okay, so smart contracts, they're basically like self-executing agreements
Okay.
that you can program onto the blockchain.
Got it.
And this opens up like a ton of possibilities, like decentralized exchanges, lending platforms, you could even create new digital assets. And it's all built on the XRP ledger.
So XRP is becoming more than just like a way to send money. It's becoming like a platform.
Yeah, like a foundation.
For building all these new financial tools.
Exactly. It's evolving from a single use case to something much bigger.
Okay, so let me get this straight. We've got the speed, the low cost, the interoperability, all these big institutions are using it. It could play a role in CBDCs, and now we've got smart contracts and all this DeFi stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds like XRP is like checking all the boxes for a revolutionary technology.
It definitely has a lot going for it.
But is it really the future of finance? I mean, is that like a guarantee?
Well, if I could predict the future, I'd be doing a lot of things differently. But honestly, the future it's uncertain, especially when it comes to technology.
Right.
There are so many things that could happen, so many things we just don't know yet.
Yeah, it's like trying to like predict who's going to win the World Cup 10 years from now.
Exactly.
It's impossible.
Yeah, but what we can say is that XRP has like a lot of things working in its favor.
Okay.
It's proven that it works. It's built this incredible network, and it's embracing all these new ideas.
Yeah.
Whether it becomes like the top dog in finance,
Yeah, yeah.
That remains to be seen, but it's definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Okay, so for our listener, for the person who's been with us on this whole deep dive into XRP in 2025,
Yeah.
what's the one thing they should take away from all of this?
I think the most important thing is to be informed, to be critical.
Okay.
Do your research, understand the technology, really think about the risks and the rewards,
Yeah,
and never stop learning.
that's good advice.
The future of finance, it's happening right now, and we all get to decide what role we want to play in it.
I love that. Okay, so it has been so fascinating exploring the world of XRP in 2025.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing all your knowledge and your insights.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
And to you, our listener, thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Remember, knowledge is power, especially in the crypto world. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep pushing the boundaries.
Absolutely.
Until next time, stay curious and stay informed. Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into XRP in 2025. We've gone over the potential, we've talked about the risks, we've pretty much looked at it from every angle. But now it's time for the ultimate question, the one everyone wants to know. Is XRP really the future of finance?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And to be honest, there's no easy answer.
It really is, like the big mystery.
It's kind of like trying to predict the weather, a year from now.
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
There are just so many things that could happen, so many factors that play into it.
So true. But let's try to at least break it down a little bit. What are some of the arguments, the reasons why some people might think XRP is not going to be the dominant force in finance in the future?
Well, one of the biggest things that comes up again and again is this whole idea of centralization.
Okay, yeah, centralization. We've touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, and it's a big deal for a lot of people. Unlike some cryptocurrencies where anyone can get involved in mining, Ripple, they control a big chunk of the XRP tokens.
Right, and some would say that for finance to really be disrupted, for real innovation to happen, it has to come from truly decentralized systems.
Exactly, where no single entity has that much power. It goes back to the core idea behind blockchain technology.
Right.
The whole point is to get away from centralized control.
So some people are saying that Ripple, because they have so much control over XRP, it makes them more like a traditional company than a true cryptocurrency.
Right, they're not really living up to the spirit of the whole thing.
So even though they won the case against the SEC and all these institutions are using XRP, this centralization issue, it's still a problem for some.
Definitely. It's not going away anytime soon.
What are some other concerns that people have about XRP's future?
Well, another thing that comes up is that Ripple really relies on these partnerships.
Oh yeah, we talked about all those partnerships.
And while they've done an amazing job building this huge network of collaborators, there's always the risk that some of those partnerships could fall apart.
Okay.
Or that some of the really big players could decide to, go their own way.
So it's kind of like a house of cards, right? If a few key pieces are removed, the whole thing could crumble.
Exactly. And we also can't forget about the competition.
Oh, right, the competition. Yeah.
I mean, there are new cryptocurrencies popping up all the time.
Constantly.
And some of them are specifically targeting the same things that XRP is good at.
So even with the head start, even with everything XRP has accomplished, they can't afford to just sit back and relax.
Nope. They have to constantly be innovating, adapting, staying one step ahead.
So it sounds like even though XRP has a lot of potential, it's not going to be a smooth ride to becoming the future of finance. There are definitely obstacles along the way.
For sure. But there are also a lot of really strong arguments in favor of XRP's long-term success.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. What are some of the things that make people really optimistic about XRP?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that it has a proven track record. I mean, we've seen it in action. We've seen it solve real-world problems, especially with cross-border payments. It's not just a theory. It's actually working.
Right. It's one thing to talk about a revolution, but it's another thing to actually make it happen.
Exactly. And it's not just about the technology itself. It's also about that network Ripple has built.
Yeah. All those institutions and governments and payment providers, that's a pretty big deal.
It really is. I mean, that kind of adoption, that level of integration, it shows you that people believe in XRP. They trust it.
So it seems like Ripple has been really smart about how they built their ecosystem.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the first mover advantage.
Oh, right. XRP was one of the first cryptocurrencies to really focus on, like, real-world financial stuff.
Exactly. And that early start, it's given them a huge advantage.
It's like they were quietly laying the groundwork, forging those partnerships,
Mhm.
while everyone else was, caught up in the hype.
And then you have this whole evolution we've been talking about, how XRP is like branching out beyond payments.
Yeah, it's not just a one-trick pony anymore.
With the smart contracts and the DeFi stuff, it's becoming a platform for all sorts of new innovation.
So to sum it all up, we've got the speed, the low cost, the interoperability, all those partnerships, the potential role in CBDCs, and now this whole new world of possibilities with smart contracts and DeFi.
It's quite a package.
It really is. So where do we land? Is XRP the future of finance?
You know, if I had a crystal ball, I'd be a lot more certain.
Uh-huh.
But the truth is, nobody knows for sure. The future is always uncertain, especially when it comes to technology.
It's impossible to predict with 100% certainty.
But I think we can say that XRP is definitely in a strong position. It's got a lot going for it.
So for our listener who's been with us on this whole journey into the world of XRP in 2025, what's the key takeaway? What's the most important thing for them to remember?
I think the most important thing is to just be informed. You know, do your research, understand what XRP is all about, weigh the pros and cons, and don't be afraid to keep learning. This whole world of crypto and finance, it's changing so fast.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster ride.
Exactly. And it's up to each of us to decide how we want to participate, what role we want to play.
I love that. So it's been an amazing journey exploring XRP in 2025. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your expertise with us.
It's been my pleasure.
And to you, our listener, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a fascinating topic. But until then, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the world around you.